What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about silver. More specifically, if silver in the $24, $25, $26 an ounce range is still a buy. Is it still time to buy silver, or is it getting to the point where it's becoming overvalued? We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Use promo code FLASH for a 10% discount through the entire weekend. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club for giveaways, live streams, deal alerts. You can watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's videos all right now if you want to. And every Saturday morning, I post a brand new adventure vlog. I have one on the way. Come and join us in the VIP Club. And of course, last but not least, make sure to go and get your 5 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Deposit just 1 penny or more. They're going to give you 5 free stocks just for joining. Refer 1 friend to the app. They're going to give you 10 free stocks by April 18th. And if you refer 3 friends by the end of the month, they're going to give you a spin on the Webull wheel where you're guaranteed at least 1 free share of Apple with the chance of winning all the way up to 15 free shares of Apple. Everything will be linked in the description. So today is Thursday, April 7th, 2022. The current spot price of silver as I'm filming the video is $24.32. It's down 12 cents or down 0.49%. A mild red day for the beautiful white metal. Spot price of gold is $19.30.40. It's up $5.10 or up 0.26%. A mild green day for the beautiful yellow metal. And of course, the gold to silver ratio is in the 78 to 79 to 1 range. But of course, that's as I'm filming the video, not as I'm editing, posting, or as you're watching. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. So today, I wanted to talk about whether or not I consider silver to still be a buy. The short answer is yes, absolutely so, and I'm going to explain why throughout the course of the video. But just in case any of you were looking for that quick, short, easy answer, there you go. Now what we have on screen right here is a nice little selection of silver. No gold on display, although I have some right over here. But what we do have is a 5-ounce sunshine bar on top of a 10-ounce sunshine bar. We have a kangaroo, maple, a type 2 eagle, a type 1 eagle. We have some creatures of the north up top. We have some Queen's Beasts down here. We have the 10-ounce bull bar, a 1-ounce Westminster bar, and of course the 5-ounce Aztec calendar round. But I wanted to talk about whether or not I consider silver to be undervalued still, and obviously I do, but is it going to get close to the point of becoming fair valued anytime in the near future, or is it going to get to the point where I'm going to consider it to be overvalued? That's what I wanted to talk about today, and I'm very curious. Everybody watching this video, if you can head on down to the comments and let me know your thoughts on that right there, because I know there are some people out there who believe that silver's a little pricey right now and they'd rather wait until the spot price comes back down. So let me know your thoughts on that. And before we really deep dive into the topic, we got a little something to unbox. Let's see what's inside this package right here. Stop by the P.O. box. Had a little something inside. And according to the return address, it's from friend of the channel, John. So let's see, we got a letter inside, and we got a coin inside. Check this out first. This is a Danish coin, which I'm sure the letter explains. Check this out. Hi Mikey, hope you are well and stacking prudently. I watch your shows and enjoy them. I am 1964 Corvair 1 in the comments. Sorry, no precious metal here, just had to share this with you. It's a 10 Danish kroner, worth about $1.50. I got this on a trip to Denmark. If you ever get to the second happiest place on earth, Denmark is 2, Finland is 1. Perhaps you can buy half a cup of coffee. So how's this for a queen image? Let's take a look at that again really fast. Whew. I just had to share this with you. If you search, you can find the queen in precious metals and a younger age. I will send you some more samples. All the best, John. Thank you, John. Really appreciate the letter. Really appreciate the coin. A 10 Danish kroner coin. And if anybody's wondering what John means by sending some samples, John is actually the CEO of a company called Zapver, and the company makes these pretty interesting products. They make throat spray and nasal spray, which I have right here. They also make hand sanitizer and I believe a couple of other products, but these two are the ones that I use the most. I actually use them on a daily basis. And this is probably, I would say, maybe like the third or potentially the fourth time I've mentioned them on the channel, which means I actually like them. If they were sent in as a gift to the channel and I acknowledge them, even if I didn't like them, I'd show them off and say, hey, thank you for sending these my way, and then I'd be on with it. But no, I've mentioned them a couple of times. I actually like them and I actually use them. So just in case anybody's interested, zapverinc.com or sinofresh.com. Thanks again, John. Really appreciate it. And now as for what we were talking about, when it comes to, let me actually put this on display. When it comes to silver, and when it comes to the spot price of silver, the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I've noticed a couple of comments. Now, the overwhelming majority of comments do not align with this way of thinking, but a very small portion do. And being that there are at least a handful of people out there who think this way or are at the very least wondering about this, I figured it was worth making a video about. I received a couple comments from people saying that silver's too expensive. A lot of people who somehow, some way in 2022 are still not used to the spot price being where it's at. And the reason I bring that up is because usually they reference where the spot price was 2, maybe 3 years ago. Not a whole lot of people say, like, oh, I miss when silver was where it was at 12 years ago. A lot of people keep referencing 2018, 2019, early 2020 prices for whatever reason. Now, for those of you who don't know or don't remember, or maybe you weren't even stacking back then, spot price of silver during those years, we saw $14, $15, $16, $17, $18 an ounce. It kind of fluctuated within that range. And if you kind of want to meet in the middle, it's about maybe 16 bucks, give or take. That's what my average cost was for those couple of years, because I got a lot of silver at about $14 an ounce. I really capitalized on that. Actually, you could say maybe $17 or $18 was my average cost if you factor in the premiums. But either way, the premiums included back then, silver was still in the teens, even if you were paying $1 or $2 over spot. Times were great back then. But I think it's safe to say, after 2 years, this is just what it is. Now, unfortunately, I can't control the spot price, so there's nothing I can do about that. If I could control the spot price, believe me, I would knock it down several dollars, but I'm unable to do that. But either way, yes, it's true. Spot price is quite a bit higher than it was 2-3 years back. But guess what? Just because it's a little more expensive than it was, doesn't mean that it's actually expensive today. In fact, the video that I have coming out on Saturday, it's primarily focusing on gold, but in that video I actually talked about undervalued versus overvalued, and also talked a little bit about fair valued, and I even talked quite a bit about silver in that video. Again, if anybody wants to watch that video, you can watch it right now. If you're a VIP club member, you have access to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's videos right now. 4 videos in one day are being posted. As soon as I post this one in the VIP club, the other 3 are going to get posted as well. So if you want to watch that, you're more than welcome to do so at any point over the next couple of days. But, like I said, just because silver's a little bit more expensive than it was, doesn't mean that it's actually expensive right now. Even if you include the higher premiums. Spot price is higher than where it was a couple years ago. Premiums are higher than where they were a couple of years ago. So trust me, I understand. It's not the most pleasant experience forking over a much larger amount of dollar bills for the same amount of silver that we were able to get for dirt cheap a couple of years ago. But if you look at it from a different point of view, or if you look at it just from a different perspective, you would probably realize that even though silver is more expensive, it's still dirt cheap. At least that's what it is in my eyes. In my opinion and from my perspective, I still consider silver to be incredibly undervalued, and I will continue stacking silver until it gets to the point where I would see that it's fair valued. Now, I don't know what that number would have to be. I don't know what the spot price would need to say or what it would need to look like for me to say, okay, I consider this to be fair valued now. I'm not really worried about that. I'm not worried about anything going on like that in the future. I'm not worried about prices, pricing, valuations. That's not really important to me at the moment. What's important to me is focusing on silver right now and seeing what silver's doing right now in the short term so that I can use it and utilize it as a tool for the long run. I'm not worrying about when I would stop buying. I'm not worrying about when I would slow down buying. I'm not worrying about any of that. And the reason for that is because right now I still consider it to be a buy. Do I think it's time to buy silver? Yes, I absolutely do. Now you, on the other hand, might have a different stance. It might not be time to buy silver through your eyes. I personally consider silver to be incredibly undervalued though, and I'll say at $24 an ounce, the same as I said, at $14 an ounce. I don't want to let an opportunity just slip away, so I'm going to continue stacking. Now, obviously, what we have on display right here, we have a lot of pure silver, plus this Danish 10 kroner coin. Once again, appreciate it, John. But we don't have any 90% silver on display. And what's funny about that is that's what my priority is at the moment. That's where I have found the best bang for my buck. That's where I have been able to convert the smallest amount of currency into a larger amount of money. That's where I've been able to just trade my dollars for silver for the best possible price. Now at your local coin shop, might be a little bit different. At your local coin shop, you might actually get a better deal on, I don't know, maybe generic silver rounds and bars. Maybe 90% by the troy ounce is a little bit more expensive. That's not the case at mine. That's not the case for me. So I'm not going after 90% silver for any particular reason. I'm not going after it because I think it's the best. I'm not going after it because I like it the most. I'm going after it because that's where I can get the best bang for my buck in terms of stacking the beautiful white metal. If the tables turn and all of a sudden at my local coin shop I start to notice that generic silver rounds and bars are cheaper than 90% silver by the troy ounce. Remember, when it comes to 90% silver, 14 silver dimes is a troy ounce, 6 silver quarters is a troy ounce, and 3 silver half dollars, 90% silver half dollars, that's a troy ounce, roughly approximately. If it ever got to the point where stacking 90% by the troy ounce was more, took more dollars to do that than to just go for generics, then guess what? I would switch up the stacking strategy and I'd be going after generic silver again. The reason I'm going after 90% is because that's where I can get the best bang for my buck. At your local coin shop, it might be different. Heck, man, if a miracle happens and all of a sudden silver eagles and maple leafs are cheaper than generic rounds and 90%, then I would assume you'd probably be stacking them. I don't think that's happening at any coin shop in the world, but hey, hypothetically, if that were to take place, if I were to hit the local coin shop this weekend and they said, hey, we got some special going on for silver eagles, they're cheaper than 90%, you better believe I'd be stacking the silver eagles. I don't care what it is that I'm stacking as long as it's silver and as long as it's whatever piece is carrying the lowest premium. That's what just makes sense to me. I figured, why pay more? I do consider silver to be incredibly undervalued right now, with the spot price being about $24, $25 an ounce. Premium included, it obviously brings it up a couple of dollars, but even with that premium, I still consider it to be at an opportunity low, and I don't want to pass that up. But if I can go for, let's just say 90% silver, and let's just say I'm getting a troy ounce of that, and let's just say that'll carry, I don't know, maybe a $3 premium, while generic silver rounds are maybe carrying, I don't know, a $4 premium, while maple leafs and philharmonics, they're carrying a $5, $6 premium. Eagles are carrying $8, $9, $10 premiums. I just figured it makes the most sense because at the end of the day, whether it's a troy ounce of 90%, whether it's a troy ounce of generic, whether it's a troy ounce of government minted pure silver coins, what do they all have in common? One is 90% silver, one is generic silver, one's government minted silver, but they all have one thing in common. It all contains a troy ounce of silver either way. That's what I'm paying for. That's what I'm converting my dollars into. That's what I'm hunting for. That's the mission right there. What can I do to acquire a troy ounce of silver? I see one going for, let's just say, I don't know, $28. One going for $29, one going for $31, and the other one going for $35. What do you think I'm going to go after? I'm going to go after the cheapest possible one because the mission is to get the silver. The mission isn't to get specifically the silver eagle or the maple or any particular generic rounder bar or any particular 90% coin. The mission is the silver. I'm not loyal to any particular coin, rounder, bar. I'm loyal to the metal. That's what I'm going after. And it's because I consider silver to be at an opportunity low right now. I consider silver to be undervalued right now. And to be honest, if spot price continues to go up and up and up and up, I'm still probably going to consider it to be undervalued for quite a bit of time. Because I remember when silver was $27, $28, $29 an ounce. I remember when it hit $30 for just a split second. Sure, it wasn't fun to see the numbers going up like that because I want to be able to get as much silver as I can for the smallest possible amount of currency, but I still would have considered that to be undervalued. I was still picking up silver at $28, $29 an ounce. I was still stacking at that point. Now, if silver were to officially cross over into the $30 an ounce range, if and when that happens anytime soon, would I still be stacking? The answer is yes. Yes, I would. And the reason I say that is because with the premiums included, especially during the highs of 2020, you add in the premium, silver was already well over $30 an ounce. Now again, I don't know what the spot price would need to do. I don't know what number it would need to hit for me to say, okay, it's no longer undervalued through my eyes. At this point, it's fair valued, which, by the way, anything that's fair valued, I still consider to be a buy. And then, of course, I don't know what the number would need to hit or what spot price would need to do for me to say, okay, it's no longer undervalued or fair valued. Now it's overvalued. But if and when it ever gets to that point, if and when I ever come to the conclusion that due to whatever the spot price is doing, silver is now overvalued, at that point, I would no longer be stacking it. At that point, I would be moving on to whatever the next asset class is. And who knows what gold is going to be doing at that time. And, spoiler alert for Saturday's video, I briefly mentioned that I consider gold to be fair valued. I don't know if I would call gold undervalued right now. It's definitely at least fair valued, though, and I absolutely would not call it overvalued. But let's just say silver, which is what I consider to be the opportunity metal. Reason for that is because I personally believe it has far more room to grow and perform over time. Just to put things into perspective, I think silver would have a much easier time doubling in value. I think silver would have an easier time going from the $24, $25 an ounce range all the way up to $50 than gold would have doubling in value. It's getting kind of close to $2,000 again. Do you think it's realistic or easily achievable for gold to just jump in a short period of time all the way up to nearly $4,000? Maybe you do. I don't know. I personally don't think so. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think that's going to happen. Do I think gold can climb its way up to $4,000 eventually at one point? Sure, absolutely. Do I think it can jump to $4,000 as easily as silver can jump to $50? Absolutely not. That's why I say I believe silver has far more room to grow and perform over time, and I consider it to be the opportunity metal. But let's just say silver does quickly, or even slowly, climb its way up to $50 or beyond. What if it goes to $60 or $70? What happens if silver hits the triple digits? Would I consider that to be overvalued? I don't know. I want to say yes, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because I remember saying that about $20 an ounce silver, I couldn't really see myself stacking silver over $20, and that's just because I thought I had a long way to go. And then when silver hit $20, I realized I'm not done stacking, and I still consider this to be undervalued, even though I didn't realize that I would. So who knows what spot price would need to go to for me or any of us out here to consider it to be overvalued. But let's just say it gets to that point, whatever number that may be. Let's call it $100, just arbitrary, random, hypothetical number. Let's just say silver climbs its way up to $100, and the overwhelming majority of us start saying, okay, that actually is pricey for silver. I consider it to be overvalued at this point. I would take a look at gold. Did gold go up with it? Silver climbed up dramatically, but percentage-wise, how much did gold go up? Is gold still fair valued? If I consider silver to be overvalued, does it make sense to just focus exclusively on gold at that point? Is gold still a buy if silver is overvalued? We would have to see, because who knows what the spot price of gold would be at that point. I know I'm throwing a lot of hypotheticals out there, but these are just things to think about. They're fun things to talk about, and it's never a bad idea to pretty much mentally prepare yourself for different situations that could come our way. But let's just say gold is still fair valued at that point. I'd probably just choose to focus pretty much entirely on gold at that point. But if gold is overvalued as well, let's just say the precious metals become completely out of reach, at least from my perspective. There are going to be a lot of people still stacking silver and gold at that point, but if I consider them both to be overvalued, I would just have to move on to the next asset class. I would have to move on to whatever opportunity I see potentially in the stock market. Which, by the way, speaking of stocks, friendly reminder, go and get your 5 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as a penny. It still counts, because that's what I did. You get 5 free stocks just for joining. If you refer one friend by April 18th, they're going to give you 10 free stocks for the referral. It's part of their advertising budget. And if you refer 3 friends by the end of the month, they're going to give you a spin on the Webull wheel, which guarantees you at least 1 free share of Apple, with the chance of winning 2, 3, 5, 7, maybe even 15 free shares of Apple. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. But point being is that whatever the next asset class is, whatever is in reach, wherever I see the next opportunity, that's where I would just have to go. I'm not going to continue buying into something that's overvalued and refuse to diversify, refuse to move on to the next big thing. Now, I personally believe we have a long way to go before we ever got to that point. But hey, silver's pretty sporadic and spontaneous, and gold can be too from time to time. It could happen sooner than we think. I personally don't think it's going to happen anytime in the near future, though. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know your thoughts on that right there. What would the spot price of silver need to do? Where would that number need to go for you to consider it to be still fair valued, but no longer undervalued? I don't know what it would need to do for me to get to that point. I want to say somewhere in the $30, $40 range. I have no idea. I just don't want to end up being that guy that continuously moves the goalpost. I don't want to say a number and then when we get to that number, I move it to another number. I'm personally not a fan of people that do that. I don't like the goalpost movers. But if you have a number in your head right now and you know that if spot price hit that number, you'd call it quits, or maybe you'd consider continuing if it's still fair value through your eyes, but maybe you have a throw in the towel number. What would the spot price of silver or gold need to do for you to say to yourself, okay, the precious metals are officially overvalued and I'm no longer going to stack them, at least not until they come back down? So coming around full circle, if you can head on down in the comments and let me know that, by the way, but coming around full circle, I've received a couple comments from people thinking that silver is still expensive at this point. I personally don't believe so. And I have a very small number of comments from people saying that silver's a little too expensive right now and they're going to wait for spot price to come back down. They're going to wait. Trust me, I've gotten comments from people saying that they're waiting for $19 an ounce again. That sounds like a very risky game to play, allowing time to go by I hope to God they're at least doing something in terms of stacking or investing in the meantime. See, they always say it's never a good idea to try to time the market. You should never sit there getting absolutely nothing done. But if you want to sit there waiting it out, trying to time the market, please, for the love of God, stay busy while you're waiting. At least work on something else. If you're going to wait for silver to come back down, in my opinion, I think you should at the very least be focusing on some gold while you're waiting for silver, or if you're investing in any stocks or anything like that, like just stay busy. That's my only recommendation. Or just go into financial offense mode if you're waiting for it to be your time to get back into financial defense. Play some financial offense. Focus on some investments or growing a brand or building a business or something like that. Do something to work on creating wealth or building wealth or generating wealth. And then depending on what the world is doing and what the economy is looking like, the spot price of silver and gold might come back down a little bit. It might make more sense at that point to dive back into the precious metals, and then you can use the precious metals to preserve the wealth that you generated. It really depends on what's going on. It depends on what team has the ball. It depends on what's going on out there. And really what it comes down to is what most people are not doing. As a contrarian, I have found that it's usually best to do the opposite of what most people are doing. When the stock market is rallying, a lot of the time that usually means silver and gold are on a little bit of a decline, and that's, in my opinion, the best time to be stacking. But when the spot price is really going straight up and the stock market is falling, because not always, but usually they'll do the opposite from one another, at that point, it might make far more sense to play some financial offense and lower my average cost in a variety of different areas and take my foot off the gas on silver and gold a little bit while still continuing to stack, because why would I call it quits when I still consider it to be undervalued? It really just depends on what everybody else is doing. It's basically following the trend, but the opposite way, doing the opposite of the trend. You sit back, you evaluate, you take a look at what everyone else is doing out there, you take some notes, okay, this is going on, that's going on, this is doing well, this is doing poorly, this is going to be the next big thing, that is something where I guess the ship has already sailed, blah, 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 blah. You take some notes, you figure out what's going on, you evaluate it from an objective, rational, logical standpoint, and you figure out where everybody is headed right now. And then you figure out what is off of everybody's radar. And in my opinion, that's usually the best thing to dive into. Whatever's off the radar, whatever nobody's paying attention to. And you reap the benefits later on. You stockpile what everybody else is ignoring or what everybody else forgot about. And then when the tables turn and everybody's rallying back into that, you already stockpiled a whole bunch of it. Now they're coming to you looking to buy. Hey, the coin shop's all out of silver. All these websites are all out of silver. Do you have any silver? I need to buy some silver. You're the one with the silver at that point. And at that point, it's up to you if you want to sell or not. I personally don't, and I personally wouldn't, but you can if you want to. And at that point, while everyone's scrambling, looking for some silver, looking for some gold, then what usually happens at that point? Or what happened last time around? What happened when everybody went into panic stacking mode? It was March of 2020 when the entire market came crashing down. So when everybody's scrambling looking for some silver and gold, and meanwhile you stockpile a whole bunch of it, what can you do at that point? You can go and dive into stocks for 20, 30, 40, 50% off. And then the tables turn again. Then the market rallies and you bought a whole bunch of stocks, you bought a whole bunch of index funds, and now you're focusing on the silver and gold again while everybody else is driving up the price of the stocks. It's a beautiful cycle. Now, it doesn't work perfectly 100% of the time, but it works very, 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 very well. You just have to be strategic, and you have to just figure out what is everybody not doing. So anyway, coming around full circle, I do consider silver to be undervalued at this point. I do consider it to be arguably the most undervalued asset on the planet right now, and I'm still in. I'm still all in right now, and I look forward to my next visit to the local coin shop. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to silver being undervalued or fair valued or overvalued? What do you consider it to be right now, and why? What would the spot price need to do, or where would that number need to go? What would it need to hit for you to say, okay, it's now overvalued and I no longer want to stack it? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys liked today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for weekly videos. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs in a bunch of different designs. A lot of the products are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, by the way. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Use promo code FLASH for a 10% discount through the entire weekend. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month, live streams multiple times a week, deal alerts on silver and gold almost every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. You can watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's videos all right now if you want to. And of course, every Saturday morning I post a brand new adventure vlog. I have one coming out, obviously, this Saturday morning, and you're going to want to watch that. It was a really interesting one. And there are a ton of other perks as well. I guarantee you the value exceeds the cost. VIP Club link in the description. Come hang out with us. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your 5 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Normally it's 2 free stocks. They bumped it up to 5 for this month, so capitalize on that while you can. You can deposit as little as a penny and it still works. You still get the 5 free stocks for joining, and I know that to be true because that's what I did. If you refer one friend by April 18th, Webull's going to give you 10 free random stocks for the referral. It's part of their advertising budget. Rather than wasting currency on billboards and TV commercials, they reward the users for helping them build their app with them. And of course, if you refer 3 friends by the end of the month, Webull's going to give you a spin on the spin wheel, which guarantees you at least 1 free share of Apple, worth around $170 right now, with the chance of winning 2, 3, 5, 7, maybe even 15 free shares of Apple. It's whatever you land on. But if you land on 15, that's over $2,500 worth of Apple stock. If you don't want the stocks, go and get them anyway. Sell them. Congratulations. Now you have the cash to go and get you some silver and gold if you want. Don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. Time is running out. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? When it comes to silver being overvalued, undervalued, fair valued, where would you place it right now? I consider it to be undervalued, and I believe that I will continue considering it to be undervalued for a very long time. What are your thoughts on gold? What are your thoughts on the Danish 10 kroner coin? Once again, thank you, John, for sending that my way. Again, if anybody's interested in some throat spray, nasal spray, hand sanitizer, zapverinc.com. Check them out. But when it comes to the silver, when it comes to the gold, what would the spot price need to do for you to have to throw in the towel? How high up would spot price need to go for you to say, okay, it's officially too pricey, it's officially overvalued? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.